I've been asked a number of times if I would show how I grind my bowl gouge, the angle I put on it, and how I repeat that. And just recently I was asked again, and I promised that I would do this. So this is my 5/8 sorbet bowl gouge. It came with a fingernail grind on it, but I modified it a little bit. And what I have on there for a grind is 35 degrees off of 90. Now let me show you how I come up with that. It's a little simple protractor. I have it set at 90. So go 10, 20, 30, and to 35. Now that's what I check it with, this setting here. Some people might call that a 55 degree grind. My whole life I've measured everything off of 90. So I call it a 35 degree. Now here's how I check it. Is if I put this down the flute and check it like that, it's 35 degrees. Let me show you on a piece of paper a little bigger. Here's the same situation. That's the grind. The dotted line is the flute. This is the wings up at the top, and that's the line you'll see when you grind it. If I put it on that flute line, you can see, and I bump that, you can see I'm on 35 degrees off of the 90. That's how I check it, and that's how I grind it. Now, how do I keep it at that and not grind the tool away trying to get there? I use one of these. It's a Vari grind. It simply goes in here, and you always need to set this at the same depth from here and the same setting on the grinder, and I'll move over there and show you. And I'll show you what I use and how I maintain that. Let me get the camera set up and we'll move over there. Alright, let's set that protrusion on this. I use 2 inches. I have a block here, has a camera mount on it too. I've got aluminum plate there that's 2 inches back. This one is 1 3/4 back, and I use that for a different gouge. So I put it here, hold everything up against it, and then I lock it down. Now, this needs to be set in a particular spot. Otherwise, you'll change the grind. I have marks on here, and if I set it to that mark right there, which is the one I know, it'll be exactly where I want it. You're not going to grind your tool away. I have a CBN wheel. It's always going to be the same. The setup is going to be just right. If you don't trust that line, you could cut a little stick and you could put that in. I don't know if I mentioned, that's 350 grit CBN. This is 80 grit. I do reshaping, and I like to sharpen my negative rake scrapers on here because it really makes a nice burr. The line works good, and so does this little stick for a gauge there to put it in position. But I've marked the end of this with a Sharpie, making sure that there's no chips in here, and holding this back against there. If you rotate the wheel, you can see that I've taken all of that Sharpie mark off of there. I think you can. That kind of verifies you have the right angle. I don't do that anymore because I trust the line and my setting here. So if I can avoid getting in the way, I'll show you how I sharpen it. I start right off at the radius tip and just swing it down like that. Not a lot of pressure, just a little bit. And that looks really good. Now this will be a little more awkward because if I do it the way I usually do, I'll block you. Doesn't take much. I'm pretty much just laying this against that wheel. So now I'll start in the middle of that nose and just swing it back and forth like this. Once I've got that a couple times, one complete rotation that way and one this way. Now if I can hold this still, you can see it's quite sharp. I have a piece of wood in my lathe. Let's see how sharp it really is. Alright, this is a piece of English walnut that I had laying around that I almost threw away. Let me grab my face shield and we'll test this edge. That's pretty good. I just took about 3/8 off of it. No hesitation at all. Now, there's not going to be much left of that piece. It was actually a pretty piece of wood. Let's cut some more away. That was fun. Pretty nice shavings there coming off. Okay, well this is not about cutting, but it was more about sharpening, and I hope you're able to get something out of that, and I was happy to do this. Sorry it took so long. Now, if you can hang around for a little while, I'd like to show you some pictures that viewers have sent me. They've asked me about some of the work I've done, especially the segment work, and I've shared that information, and they've taken pictures of what they've done, and it's totally amazing. And some of them have never done this before. Dizzy bowls, they've done the tumbling blocks, they've done all kinds of things. And another viewer, Luie, has a channel. I'll put a link in there. He's done the star that I've done. So if you can take a little time and go check them out, there's only a couple YouTubers that have sent them to me, but I would like you to watch those and check them out. Hope you got something out of this little sharpening that I do. This is how I do it. Certainly not the only way. And thanks for watching. This will be a short slideshow, so you may not have time for popcorn. These are pictures that some of my viewers have sent me. Many of them are of things that I have done and they wish to try. I'll tell you more about them as we go along. Here's a real nice emerging bottle. This was made by Gil Vanderbush. Did a fantastic job. I think I like it better than the one I did. So this next one is a sphere with stars in it. It's made by Fred Dixon. He said he's never done anything like this before and wanted to do it after he saw the sphere that I made. This next one is a beautiful piece of wild cherry. This picture was sent to me by Buddy Dean. So coming up is a piece of black locust turned by Dennis Beamish on his brand new one-way 2436. This next group of pictures are from fellow YouTuber Louie Bandera. His YouTube channel is Woodworking 220-7. You should check him out. He does some really nice work. I really like this one here with the little inlaid crosses in there. I think it's a really nice job. There's another view of it there. It's really cool. And this one coming up here is a little candy dish. Who doesn't like a candy dish, really? There's another view of that one with the little plugs inlaid in it, and it looks like a cigar ashtray. Now this one right here, he made that after he saw my star bowl, and I'm very impressed with what he did there, and I'm honored that he liked it enough to go ahead and make one like it. Really nice job, Louie. here's a few more that he's done, and they're really nice. There's nice shape, nice finish on them, and just all in all, a very nice job. After watching the Dizzy Bowl that I made last year, Josh Blumenthal made this one. This is his very first Dizzy Bowl. I'd say he did a really nice job. His work shows a complete understanding of the process, and I look forward to seeing even more of this. Here's a really nice looking segmented bowl. It's very interesting looking. And here's a little square bowl that he did. Coming up is one I'm really impressed with. After watching my video on how to do your first inside-out turning, Josh emailed and talked about doing a guitar. Well, I would say this was 100% successful. Just amazing. I love it. Maybe it's because I play a guitar myself. These segmented bowls were made by R.P. Eddington, but what you're going to see soon is very impressive. This is a Taurus that he made. He emailed me after I made mine and asked a few questions, and then he went out and made this. First one he's ever made. It's totally amazing. These pictures are from a fellow YouTuber, Hugh Davies, from Wouldn't It Be Nice? I believe this was his first segmented bowl, and it really is nice. Here's another segmented bowl that he made. Hugh told me that he was interested in making a tumbling block onto a pen, so I sent him a sketch of what I've done, and sure enough, he's put a tumbling block on a pen. That is pretty fine work. He also made a dizzy pen. That's pretty incredible looking itself. Pens are real small and pretty precise in making them to come out like this, and he's done a fantastic job. I'll put a link in the description to his channel. Check him out. He does some really nice work. These two were made by Charles Ridley. This is like the star bowl that I made, and this one is like the dovetail bowl that I made, and he did amazing work on both of them. This beautiful dizzy bowl was made by Steve Middleton. It looks fantastic, and the choice of wood was perfect. These last ones here are from Wayne Nicholas from Leduc, Alberta. I hope you enjoyed watching how I grind my bowl gouge and all the photos. I'll put a link to Luie and Hugh's channel. Be sure to check them out. Thanks for watching, and until the next time, see you later.